Moon in the 12th house. Wow. You cannot really get more subconscious mindy, subconscious mindily, like mindy, when you're just like the subconscious mind itself. Mindish. Moon in the 12th house is the subconscious. The only thing about Moon in the 12th house being the subconscious and having the Moon in the 12th house, or the 12th house being the subconscious and having the Moon in the 12th house, is somebody that could really be unaware of their subconscious, because they can be completely unaware of how they feel. Seriously, once these people are aware how they feel, okay, all bets are off, because they are extremely psychic, they are extremely in tuned, and they are very powerful. Okay, like they can really become anything, explore any talent, um, use their imagination very well, and having these outer worldly experiences. And this is the thing: Moon in the 12th house could be prone to drinking. Okay, especially if they feel like they're misunderstood. Because can you imagine trying to explain yourself, trying to explain how you feel when you don't really know how to express that, because you don't really know how you feel? The thing and the trick to this is that you do know how you feel. You just have to identify it, like pinpoint it. People with Moon in the 12th house, it's hard for them to communicate what's going on in their mind, what's going on in their feelings. And they feel like the people that they deal with and associate with have to have some level of intuitiveness and psychic awareness to really understand who they are. So they like to deal with people that understand them, because that is the less explaining that they have to do. And I'm gonna be honest, like sometimes they don't really know how to understand themselves, or don't really understand themselves. And if they do understand themselves, they don't know how to communicate it over. They don't really know how to identify what that is, what that looks like. You have to learn about them through their environment a lot of the times, and just it could be a lengthy time, and you have to observe them. They could easily shy away or back away or run away because they withdraw. They're withdrawn a lot of times within themselves, within their mind, within their own space. They can be so withdrawn away from others that they periods of time can go by, and you may see them one day, and then months later, you're like, what the heck happened? Like Earth to Moon in the 12th house. People with Moon in the 12th house could have had a mother figure, or someone in their environment, like family environment, or security wise, that was into alcohol, drugs, and because of it, they were not able to really connect with people with Moon in the 12th house in a proper way. So everything became like either blamed on the person with Moon in the 12th house, like, or placed on them. And they were often left to tend to their own emotions. Now, that doesn't mean, because I don't get offended, because it does not mean that everybody with Moon in the 12th house had this problem in their family or with their mother. It could have just simply been to where the mother was like an overly dependent person on the person with displacement. They could have been like overly dependent, or they somehow raised raised the Moon in the 12th house person to be overly dependent on them. Okay, somewhere we're dealing with dependencies. We're dealing with dependencies with Moon in the 8th house, and we're dealing with dependencies and codependencies. Should I say codependencies with Moon in the 12th house? And it's somewhere where somebody did not take ownership. Either the mother didn't take ownership of the way that she handled herself, and she placed it on the person with this placement with the moon in the 12th house, or she did not let the moon in the 12th house person properly take ownership of themselves. Like, she was always, I'm gonna save the day, and it really did a number on a person with moon in the 12th house, because where they're supposed to grow and learn independence in a healthy way, it made them learn it in a not so healthy way a lot of times, even to the point of where they don't really understand how to express themselves. Okay, I try to be delicate, because I know when I'm talking sometimes, when I'm talking about people's mothers and stuff like that, it doesn't really feel so good, and sometimes people feel attacked. So until, like, if you're a person and it's hard for you to resonate with this stuff because it can feel so deep, I don't want to be offensive. That's all I'm saying. Okay? But this is the thing. Moon in the 12th house is just, and it's interesting because I, like, in the Moon in the 11th house, I talked about how people with Moon in the 11th house could seem so distant or detached from their feelings. Moon in the 12th house people, is not that they're detached from their feelings. Like, they feel very deeply. It's just that they don't properly identify with those feelings. It's some kind of way they learn to separate the way they feel or what's really going on from reality. So they can feel one way. Like, they could think or believe that the way they're feeling, people that they are in contact with or associated with knows how they feel. They know how they feel. And it's always a miscommunication, because no, other people don't know how you feel. They don't know how they feel. They don't know how the moon in the 12th house person really feels. It's sometimes like you're talking to a blank screen, or someone that is not really, they don't, it seems like they don't care, or they're identityless. Is that right? Identityless. Like, they have no identity. But there's so much that goes on with this person, and there's so much that this person is not able to express. And then there's oftentimes when this person does express themselves, it can be very emotional and over the top and dramatic. Like, when they finally do express themselves, or it's like there's no middle ground. Okay, it's either they're completely withdrawn or they're just blah, you know. So moon in the 12th house has to learn how to pinpoint who they are. Okay. Now, and the reason why I say this is because, like, a lot of times moon in the 12th house can be like a sponge. Like, they absorb other people's feelings. So they're very psychic and very in tune. There's a lot that they know. They're very wise. But sometimes they don't know. It's hard for them to determine how they feel. And especially because they're constantly taking in other people's feelings and absorbing it, to the point of where it's like, which one is my feelings? Like, I don't know now. And what I'm feeling and what this person is feeling, or they're extremely sensitive, and sometimes it's hard to like, if they're finding people in vulnerable situations, it's hard for them to not take the person in. So they can find themselves being like the structure or the support for emotionally needy or independent people. They can attract people that has some type of something that's not all the way stable. Like, they can attract people that are emotionally insecure and codependent on in unhealthy ways. And they will do this time and time again, and then wonder, like, how did this happen? Like, how did I get in this relationship? How did I get in this situation? How did I end up taking this on? Until they learn to heal or until they heal these emotional aspects within themselves. And you have to do it by being conscious of the way that they have to do it by being conscious of the way that they feel and what are their real feelings associated to something, what is someone else's feelings associated to that same thing, and keeping that at the forefront, and stop taking on people who are codependent and that's having addictions, that is not able to emotionally thrive on their own. When you see these people and you're taking them in, you have to understand that they're causing you more harm than good a lot of the times. And you have to start detaching yourself from these associations until you start dealing with the unseen subconscious aspects of yourself. You're going to keep drawing these situations in. Okay, that's going to show you that is what you need to do. And when you do, like, wow, very psychic, very intuitive, very imaginative, and it's a lot that people with Moon in 12th house hold in, and a lot that they keep secret that you will not know. The only way you're gonna know it is if you observe them. Sometimes asking them is just not enough. Okay, so this has been Moon in the 12th house. And I can say so much more about it. And I will continue doing videos where I'm breaking more stuff down. But 13, like, it's already been too long. So we're here with Moon in the 12th house. And I will be back.